Check it out. Looks like it's sitting. Pick it up. Okay, artists, here we go with another optical illusion artwork. Today we're going to be drawing a mug, like something that you would drink hot chocolate or coffee or tea out of, but it's going to look like it is coming off the paper, like it's actually sitting on top of the piece of paper that you drew it on. We're going to use some of the same tricks that we used for our other optical illusion artwork, and we're going to be using this right here, this cylinder, with some of the techniques that you learned to shade it to make it look 3D, three-dimensional, not 2D, two-dimensional or flat. Okay, so I just want you to look at this shape, keep that in your mind, and then we're going to go ahead and get started drawing our mug. What you need for this project is a cup, because you're going to need the circle, a ruler, although you can maybe do it without a ruler if you just have a straight edge. That would work fine, so like the edge of a book. Scissors, a pencil to draw with, an eraser if you make mistakes, and then 3 colored pencils, white, light blue, and dark blue or black, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and get started with our cup. At the top corner of the paper, so we are holding our paper horizontally, landscape, not vertically, but horizontally. And in the top left corner, I want you to draw a circle. Now, usually when we draw a cup or a mug at an angle, we wouldn't do a perfect circle, even though the top of this container is a circle. When it's sitting on the table and we draw it, usually we draw sort of an oval shape at the top. Today, because we're working on an optical illusion, we're gonna do things a little bit differently. In fact, this is new for me too, so we'll see if it works out. I've got a circle right here, and I'm gonna go ahead before I forget and draw as best I can another circle right around the inside or outside of the circle I just drew. This is gonna be the lip of the mug. Okay, so what we're gonna be doing now is drawing this mug a lot longer than we would normally draw a mug. Usually a mug is only about this long, but we're gonna be making this mug almost the whole size of our ruler or whatever you're using for a straight edge. We're gonna be making the bottom of the mug down here, all the way down near the other corner, okay, at a diagonal. So you did the circle at the top left, and now the bottom of the mug is gonna be very close to the bottom right. So I want you to line your straight edge up with the top right corner of your circle and draw a light line almost all the way. I want you to stop right about here. Do you see where my pencil stopped? It's a couple inches from the edge of the paper. Come over here. Let's do the same thing on the left edge of your circle, the outer circle. And I want you to draw a straight line, and we're just going to angle it in a little bit. Okay, so it's not going to be perfectly the same diameter as this circle. Okay, that would be a perfectly straight cylinder with straight sides. We're going to move our fingers in a little bit there so that the edge of our mug is a little bit angled. So I'm going to do it just like that. Okay. I think that's a pretty good angle. If I want to angle this one a little bit more, I might. This is going to help the illusion that this mug is coming off the paper at the very end. Okay. See how this angles in a little bit? I'm going to go ahead and curve the bottom with the exact same type of curve that I've got here. So sort of memorize that shape and curve it here, or use your circle to curve it, and you'll know that you have the same curve. Okay? Cool, we need to add our handle, okay? This handle's gonna be kind of tricky. It's gonna be like a block letter C, okay? Okay, so we're gonna be working on making our handle now, but because this is at a weird angle and it's an optical illusion, some of these lines are going to disappear into each other, okay? So stick with me here. We're basically making a block letter C along the edge of our cylinder. Okay, I want you to just go a little bit in from your line here. And I want you to go up, outside the cylinder, down, 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 and then up again. Okay, do you see how I just made a letter C from here, here, down, and back up? Cool, just to get this out of the way, I need you to do something down here for me. Go a diagonal here and a diagonal here, almost like you're doing the head of an arrow, okay? You can go ahead and shade that in if you want, just to make it a little less confusing. Matter of fact, I need you to connect this point of the C to the inside of itself right here. Get that out of the way. Sometimes it's easier to just go ahead and add a little bit of preliminary shading just to keep us from getting confused. All right, I'm gonna need you to do another C shape, but first give me a little bit of a line right here. And then I want you to do a C bigger than this one, but basically the same shape. Okay, can you give me up, 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 curve it around, and then let it hit the cylinder. Cool. I need it to come further in than what you already drew over here, the little C. Down. Go ahead and connect them. This is looking good. Last line in our handle is almost done. Give me a diagonal this way. I need you to go out like we're doing a C. Go down, but as you get towards the bottom of the C you've already drawn, I need you to make your line disappear into the bottom curve. I don't want you to come down and hit the cylinder. This needs to disappear by the time you hit this curve. I'm going to show you one more time. From the top, down. Awesome. Now just give me a little bit of a shadow at the bottom. It's going to be this shape, arched, back in. We are ready to start shading. Once we shade, we're going to cut, and then you are all done. Right now, I need white around the rim of the paper. Now you can do this on any piece of colorful paper you have. If you have any color of construction paper, even a scrap of it, it'll work. I want you to give me a little bit of white on this C right here. And then I want you to give me a little bit of white right on this upper curve and right where it hits the mug. Matter of fact, while we've got our white, let's put some white along this top right edge. The light is basically hitting our mug right here. I'm going to shade white and I'm going to start bringing it over a little bit lighter. I'm not pressing nearly as hard as I did on the edge all the way down, because with these colored pencils, since they are a little bit waxy, I'm going to be able to blend just a little bit. If I take my blue now, I'm going to go back on top of what I just did, and I'm basically going to shade light blue on top of that to create an even lighter version of blue, because remember, I already put some white down. So these are sort of blending on the paper like paint. I'm shaking the camera a little bit here, sorry. Trying to shade quickly. You can take your time and go much, much slower. Now when I get to the area that I haven't put white on, you'll notice that the blue becomes a little bit darker because it doesn't have any of that white pencil to blend with. And just like the white, as I get towards the bottom edge, I'm actually gonna fade out with the light blue because I don't need nearly as much of that. What I'm gonna need more of is the dark blue, but while I have this out, I'll add some on the handle. I am gonna add a little bit to the front of the handle, even though it's the lightest part of the cup, the shining light is hitting it. I'm just gonna tint it a little bit with that blue. Go ahead and add some blue in here, a little bit of blue. We'll go back with the darker color and cover it up as well. And I need some on the inside of the cup here, inside of the mug. Matter of fact, some of you probably guessed, since this circle looks like an inside-out sphere, I do need to add a little bit of white just to increase the reality of what I'm drawing. This is already coming together. Can you start to see it? As soon as I add some of my darker blue, I think you're really gonna like how this looks. So you can use a dark blue like this color, probably what you have if you have colored pencils. However, you might then need to go back and add a little bit of black on top of it, okay? I've got a very dark blue that I'm gonna be using if it doesn't keep breaking on me. And what this is gonna do is create the illusion that there's shadow, okay? You do need to go dark right along this edge with your black or your dark blue. Okay, you notice that goes dark, medium to light. Okay, I need to put some along this edge. Might as well add a little bit right here. And along the handle. Because this handle is part of the glass, the cup that's disappearing, it gets real dark near the bottom and it almost fades straight into this part of the cup, which is almost entirely in shadow. You can see when I'm adding the shadow on this side of the cup, I'm not going very far in. I need to stick to this side, okay? And when I'm shading, I need my shading to stay relatively like a straight line right up, okay? You can see where the white stops here, dark stops here. It can't be all over the place because a cylinder is a very regular form, just like a cube, just like a cone, just like a sphere, all of which we practiced. So that everything needs to look pretty regular, okay? It might look like I'm scribbling, but I'm actually going very carefully in one direction to make sure that I can maintain control while I'm coloring. Okay, got my shadow down there. I'm gonna take my white colored pencil one more time and just start to add or to blend it in using the white, okay? White you can sometimes actually use as a blender once you've got other colors down on the paper already. Do you see how that's starting to like smudge it? It still maintains the color that was underneath, but it starts to smooth it out, and I think it kind of makes it look like a little bit more like paint. Less like colored pencil and more like paint. You know, I have some sort of special artist colored pencils that allow these to blend a little bit better than yours might, but yours will still work the same way, okay? Crayola still makes their colored pencils with a waxy base, just like these ones, and that's gonna allow you to blend it just like what I'm doing. Okay, as soon as the whole thing is nice and smooth and blended together, we are going to cut, sort of like we did if you attempted the cube that was floating up above the paper. It's going to be very similar to what we did there, okay? So, what I want you to do is take your straight edge of your ruler, and I want you to draw a line from the bottom. It's almost like halfway in between the sides of the paper. I want you to draw a line up until you hit the mug, stop. Then come over here and pretend like this line is going to go all the way up, and you're going to draw another line from the top edge of the mug over. This is going to be your guideline for cutting. And I want you to cut out the mug carefully. You worked really hard coloring it, so I don't want you to hurry through this part and ruin all of your hard work. Okay, already it's starting to look pretty cool. Let's see what happens if I move the camera down at an angle. Whoa, pretty cool, huh? From up here, still looks neat, but when you start to move at an angle, it looks like that mug, like I could just reach in there and pick up the mug off the paper and take a sip of coffee. I know this was a little bit difficult, but if you stuck with me, thanks for drawing, and I'll talk to you soon.